I've seen this has been happening far too often. Lessons are coming to me and going, you know what, Alex, I'm ripping my irons. I'm getting to driver, I'm off the planet. I'm off the planet. And I'm sure we've all been in that situation. I know I certainly have. Today, the 3 biggest mistakes 99.999% of golfers make. We're going to use 3-step rules, fix them, get that golf ball back under control. So let's start off by obviously getting driver. And we won't spend long on this, but it's important that you do watch this because it's important to put yourself in one of these categories, okay? We don't want to just start fixing something if we don't know what we're fixing in the first place. So number 1, think about this category right here. Are you a golfer who opens up this face dramatically through this backswing? Really rolling this face open. If you are, it's going to be very hard to get it back to square at impact. We know with driver, we've only got to be a couple of degrees out and this golf ball could go off the planet. It's going to go into basically so far right for most golfers, or we're going to overcompensate. So number 1 on our sort of areas of mistakes is this club face really rolling open. Now, this leads me into number 2. So remember, put yourself in one of these categories. Number 2, because it's a longer club, it really encourages us to swing it more around the body. That makes sense. With a wedge, if I grab a wedge out here, grab my shortest wedge in my bag, my 58, this encourages us to swing it a little bit more upright relatively. Okay? Now the pitfall here is that because we know it's a longer club and we can swing it more around us, we tend to get too far around us and the shoulder plane becomes far too flat. Anytime this gets flat, we're going to want to get steep on the way down, and that's when we start skying it, chopping down the golf ball and really not enjoying that upwards hit that we all are striving for. The final category, well, I think there's nothing else but to take this one away. Just to show you what this category is, it's off balance. I mean, that one went quite good, but in general, anytime we're off balance, this club face could point absolutely anywhere. And we obviously can't be in that situation under pressure. Card in our hand, coming down the 18th. So let's get into fixing this right now. So let's address tip number 1 here. Getting some good understanding of this club face. I'm going to speak about each of these tips in 2 ways. One way with a drill, then the other way is how you can take it to the golf course. So whatever category you're in, make sure you listen to the relevant tip for you. So number 1, we're talking about club face. Let's grab an alignment stick and get this alignment stick up our left hand side. All I want you to think about this is controlling those first 6 inches of your golf swing. The most important 6 inches with driver is this, not these 4 between the ears, which clearly a lot of us go wrong, and I'm very wrong with there. Too negative. But negativity comes from stuff like that. So, over the golf ball now, what I want you to feel is you make some practice swings, really getting that feeling of the alignment stick staying on the side of the body. If you look at this here, this alignment stick has not left the side of my body at any point, okay? Rolling open, it would. Also notice the position of my right palm. It's more sort of down towards the ground, not up towards the sky. Look at the differences. Your club face would orientate differently depending on the position. So first and foremost is just practice starting the swing more like this. Now you'll actually get a lot wider, you'll actually get a lot more speed from this. So that's the first fix. Try it with the alignment stick. We'll get that back out in a minute because, well, we love the alignment sticks on this channel. How I want you to take this to the golf course now is really simple. Can we stand there and feel as though halfway back, our right palm sort of more on top of the club rather than more underneath the club or pointing out in this direction. So much more control from not here to here. So 2 things, apply this, not this. We're going to really get this golf club under so much more control. Let's go into the second one right now and talk about how we keep these tilts. So let's now move on to the second part, about these shoulders. Remember, every one of these will go through with a drill that you can use at the range, and then how you can then take it to the golf course. Because we all know that is the most important thing. We don't really care how we hit the range, do we? We'll care about the course. Okay, so let's start off with our course feeling. Alignment stick again, we're going to use this, really vital this. Can we stand over, get into golf posture? Now a pit forward driver is, it wants to feel a little bit taller than the address. Let's just make sure we're really over that golf ball enough. And just your reminding checkpoints are that armpits over the balls of the feet, and that's the back of the armpits, and the back of the bum just hanging down behind the heels. That's really important that we're in that sort of space. Now what I want you to feel here is that we make some swings now and we don't see this alignment stick get flatter, okay? It's not what we're looking for. Can we feel we get this alignment stick to work somewhere down towards the golf ball? So for a lot of golfers right now, this will feel quite steep. It'll also feel quite restricted because look, this is how far I can go. Well, how do I add more turn? We add this feeling of standing up. That's how a lot of you are completing your backswing right now. So to complement this alignment stick pointing down to the ground more, don't be scared of that right hip. Just to feel as though someone's pulling your right pocket up and around. Combine those two feelings and you're going to be in a much better space to work these shoulders more on an incline rather than standing up. And if we look at what that would give us in the downswing, well, we're more here, we can get more here. We're more here, get more here. So we're going to start to hit those shots which feel faster, which feel better. So how do we take that to the golf course? Because that is clearly, like we mentioned before, the nooks and crannies of it all. So I would simply build it into my pre-shot routine. I could possibly take one practice swing like this, imagining this, okay? Imagining the hip, imagining the alignment stick. But my trigger over the golf ball is left shoulder under, right hip pulled behind. Look at the position I'm in now, and now I can deliver this golf club down at the ground. So all we've got to do now is we can have a few waggles over the golf ball just to give us that feeling of more in posture, not flattening these shoulders. Okay, let's hit this one away and get into the final tip. So everyone wants to absolutely smash it out of here, right? I don't think you actually have to do that at club golfer level. I think that's where you're all going wrong. We're overestimating how far we're wanting to hit it. I can assure you this right now. If you can hit driver around 230 to 250, finishing, so landing say just over 200 with about 20 to 30 rollout, depending on our ability, we wouldn't be in a bad situation at all. Find more fairways, stop trying to biff it. Now, if we've got good technique, we can add more speed and we will get the ball to go further. I'm not saying we don't want that, but a lot of us are trying to search for that Bryson style 300-yard drives, and it's honestly taking our game off.
I thought 250 was long.
250 is long, mate, but balanced long.
Love it.
So what I want you to feel here is the fact that I want you to be able to pose a finish. As simple as that. Can you stand there, pose for 2 seconds? If you can, that's all I want. If you can swing really fast and pose, then fine. If you can swing slower and pose, fine. I would definitely recommend reining it back in and then moving it back out and getting to understand what your limit is. I'm not going to say swing it at 7-iron speed because everybody's 7-iron speed is very, very different. But what I want you to do is, can you organise movement and can you be balanced through the hit to a balanced finish? Even Bryson is balanced at impact and balanced to his finish. Yes, he's hitting it hard, but he's not losing that aspect. You think, right? You have to be a little bit out of this club face. Fat and toes, hooks, left, rights. Centered hit trumps everything. So finally, make sure you can pose that balanced finish for 2 seconds. Try it on the range, start off slow, build your speed up, and I can assure you we're going to hit a lot more drives. There we go, guys. That is it for today. They're the 3 most common mistakes. 3 fixes, range fix and course fix. Hope you enjoy them and take them to the course.